All right, good evening. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are back together with Isma'il and Ahmad, this time around to answer questions from our viewers that have been trooping into my WhatsApp account. Thank you very much indeed, Madam Isma'il, for coming back. Omar. As always, we are grateful. Words cannot be quantified to express our gratitude to you. Let's start with Muhammad Abdusalam Yakasey. He is also an enthusiastic young man following global issues carefully. He starts with a comment and then a question. He says, well, all I can say is that the world has been put to expect something like this rift between Iran and Israel. Iran being a strong ally and somehow arms and weapons donor to Hamas. Israel won't fold its arms, or hands rather, as he puts it. This is for sure, but we didn't expect this. We didn't expect it to come when at the same time Israel is battling Hamas in Gaza. Looking at the division Netanyahu is having back home, now we look forward to the United Nations in averting the escalation of the war, though Middle East has already been destabilized. Thank you, Muhammad Abdusalam Yakase. Let me put to you his question, and then you maybe mix them together and maybe address the UN part of the comment that he talked about. Why do you think made Netanyahu jeopardize Israel's relationship or Israel's stability by waging war with Iran, adding fuel to the already flaming fire? Muhammad Yakasi, what have you got to say to him and about what he said?
Well, I think Netanyahu waged this short war, or Netanyahu attacked attacked Iran for just simple three reasons. Number one, to took attention off Gaza, where he's currently committing atrocities and genocide, killing children, more than 35,000 innocent death there in Gaza. So he deliberately attacked Iran. He knew the attack will provoke Iran, and Iran will definitely retaliate because it's an attack on its soil. So he deliberately attacked Iran to took attention out of Gaza because of the atrocities he has been committing in a time where he has started losing support from his friends, the United States and other Western allies, in calling for ceasefire. The language has changed in the United States, where in October and November there was no any support for a ceasefire from the United States. But when it comes to the recent bombings in Gaza and killings of children, the United States has started calling on Israel to consider having a ceasefire and that to consider stop killing civilians and everything. That's number one. Secondly, he has been on constant pressure at home from his far-right members of the cabinet, as well as the public in Israel, that he has to bring home those hostage held by Hamas, and that what he's doing in killing civilians is, it's portraying Israel's image as a very weak country. They cannot confront Hamas. They only resort in killing civilians and everything. So by attacking Iran, the ball will now come into his court to make decision that he has to demonstrate to the Israelis that he is the leading man that can defend Israel against its biggest enemy, Iran. So the volume of pressure upon him will drastically reduce. That's number two. The third reason Netanyahu attacked Iran is that he hoped in the future to have a coalition with his partners that will spend money, that will bring in arms to defend Israel and attack Iran, or maybe defend Israel from Iran, like having coalition against Iran.
So as we have in Ukraine, having coalition of NATO member states defending Iran,
defending Ukraine
against
Russia.
Okay.
So that's what he hoped for, and that's the reason why the United States President Joe Biden started advocating of calling the G7 members and looking forward to have a coalition that will go against Iran in defense of Israel. So these are the three reasons.
Yes, this guy Abubakar Idris Bromi, briefly he is asking whether this war or these wars that Israel has been fighting has started to affect its economy.
Yeah, Israeli economy as well as Iran economies are suffering, and that if not for the help of the United States, Israel could not have even dropped more than 20,000 bombs in Gaza and those killings. So the United States are standing economically. Just recently, they have the Congress have approved more than 25 billion.
Just yesterday, Saturday.
More than 20 billion dollars in Israeli aid, and that if not because of the United States, Israel couldn't have the power economically to wage war. So when it even comes to battling Iran on the field, definitely United States will support Israel economically.
The second question from Abubakar Idris Bromi, he says, does this conflict not affect the economy of African countries in such a way, or in the same way the conflict between Ukraine and Russia led to the decline in the total number of wheat supply in most of the African countries? I suppose wheat consumption, not wheat supply.
In the event of having Israeli-Iran war, oil disruptions will definitely happen in the Middle East. There will be consequences of having global oil disruptions because most of the global oil is coming from the Gulf and the Middle East. So definitely,
and Iran is a major producer of oil,
as well as other members. So definitely, economic disruptions, economic consequences will occur definitely, and as well as particularly oil disruptions.
Okay, briefly, in a few seconds, why does America help Israel always? This is from Abdul Wahab.
America is a long-standing, established ally of Israel. So there are many reasons U.S. is helping and standing shoulder by shoulder with Israel, but the main reasons are they have common interest in the Middle East. Number one. Secondly, America is part of Israel's birth in 1948. Was part and parcel of Israel's birth in 1948. Thirdly, there are more than 8 million Jewish population in the United States. There are pro-Israeli lobby groups that shape and influence the country's foreign and national policies. There are groups there are groups in the Congress, there are groups in the Senate, there are groups in many parts of the United States. There is this particular group that was established to unseat any member that go against Israel in the Congress and in the Senate. There is this Israeli lobby group that supports a candidate that is pro-Israeli. They will gather money, they will fund his campaign and everything, and they have more than 7 million members. Okay, there are this pro-Israeli lobby group that advocates for the destruction of Hamas and Palestinians in the United States. You understand? There is a pro-Israeli lobby group that supports companies that have many companies owned by Israelis in the United States.
So the relationship is complex.
It's complex. It's complex and a very wide, complex relationship. So definitely, you can say, even if Israel is not United States, United States is Israel.
Oh my God, this makes it more complex than it was before. My name is Muhammad Umar Sajeh. He says, I am so glad to send my greetings to Mr. Umar and Mr. Ismail for utilizing their exceptional intellect that sparks curiosity, also guiding us to know more regarding global conflicts. And your analysis and discussions are confidentially worth sharing. Thank you very much indeed. God bless you. This is Muhammad Umar Saje. Finally, we are running out of time. Let me ask this question. This one also is called Muhammad Mustafa. He says, my questions are, what are the purposes or benefits that Israel gets in fighting Iran? What is Israel? In other words, what is Israel gaining by fighting Iran?
No, Israel is not gaining anything in fighting anyone, unless having support from their own public.
Yes.
Because Iran is a long-standing enemy of Israel. That's what they tag Iran in Israel. So fighting Iran, fighting your enemies in Israel gives you a lot of credit.
Yeah, sure.
And I don't think Israel is gaining something economically or even militarily, but they are only been pushed out of the defense shadows to be out in waging war against other countries.
Okay. And his final question is, when will this war end between Iran and Israel? I think it has already ended.
Yeah, it has already ended. The open recently something like war.
Yeah. Yes,
It has already, we hope it has ended.
Yeah.
But the shadow war has not ended, and I don't think there is any time in the near future the shadow war will end, because it has been going on for the past 2 decades. Israel attacking Iranian interests, Iranian assets, Iranian scientists and everything, while Iran is arming and encircling Israel day by day, fighting Hamas, Israel fighting Hamas, fighting Hezbollah, fighting armed groups, militia, Shiite groups in Iraq and Syria, and recently in Yemen. So they will definitely go back to the shadow war.
Well, we have taken a lot of questions, and we hope when next we meet, we'll be able to have a special segment like this one, taking questions from the audiences. Keep sending your questions to us. You can follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and other social media platforms on Mikia TV. You can also send some questions to me. I'll also put them through to our guests. Malam Isma'il and Ahmad, thank you very much as always.
Thank you, Ahmad,
for your in-depth analysis, and we're looking forward to having you again soon to continue analyzing some of the biggest events that are happening. We have the Sudan war, which is now 1 year old, and we are hoping to get you back sometime next week to analyze it. They call it the forgotten war because there is no much media coverage of the war, and a lot of people are suffering, a lot of people have been displaced, a lot of people have been killed. It's one of the worst humanitarian catastrophes in recent memory. There's also the continuation of the Russian war with Ukraine. Today, Sunday, the 21st of this month, I suppose, we woke up with the news that Congress in the United States of America has approved some billions of dollars, $61 billion package to Ukraine. And it has been under debate at the Congress for 6 months, with some hardline Republicans blocking it or trying to block it. So there's a lot of things going on in the world. We will definitely have time with you when you are less busy next week to continue analyzing them. On behalf of everyone that has contributed to the production of this newly devised segment of taking your questions, Dr. Ali Musa is the producer, Ibrahim Salis Nasser the video cameraman, and the video editor is Muhammad Qutub. My name is Umar Isa, and we'll see you very soon, and thank you very much for watching. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.